There is a moment that separates ordinary men from untouchable strategists. That moment comes when someone questions your character, throws shade at your reputation, or plants doubt about your worth. The instinct of the average man, he explains. He clarifies. He defends himself. He says, "That's not what I meant. You misunderstood me. I swear I'm not like that." It feels reasonable, even noble, but in reality, it's the most dangerous trap in the power game, because every word of defense isn't strength, it's submission. It's a silent admission that the other person's opinion has authority over you, and when you grant them that authority, you've already lost. Here's the first law: never defend yourself. The man who explains his actions lowers himself. The man who doesn't creates mystery. And mystery in the arena of power is worth more than truth, because no one dares to strike what they cannot read. Picture this scene: a crowded room, a meeting, a dinner table, or a circle of friends. Someone throws a jab. He always acts like he knows more than everyone else. All eyes turn to you, waiting for your reaction. The average man laughs nervously, scrambles to explain, tries to prove he didn't mean to sound arrogant. But the cold strategist? He doesn't flinch. He doesn't justify. He lets the silence hang like a blade no one can see. Within seconds, the atmosphere shifts. You don't look guilty. The accuser looks insecure, desperate for validation, exposed in their own need for attention, because when you refuse to play defense, you force the crowd to reinterpret the attack. They wonder, why didn't he respond? Is he above this? Did that insult just collapse on the one who spoke it? That's how silence flips the frame without you lifting a finger. Here's the truth most people never grasp. Defense doesn't persuade, it concedes. People aren't listening to your justifications, they're reading your composure. And the moment you rush to explain, you've already admitted the frame wasn't yours. You've surrendered the battlefield before the fight even began. The strategist doesn't seek to be understood. He seeks to be untouchable. And nothing makes you untouchable faster than refusing to prove yourself. Most people believe that power comes from being right. They think if they can just explain their side long enough, repeat themselves enough, or clear up the misunderstanding, they will be vindicated. But this is emotional thinking, not strategic thinking. In truth, explanations don't strengthen you. They shrink you. Every defense you make broadcasts one message to the world: I care too much about what you think of me. And once your enemy sees that, once they sense you need their approval, they own you. Machiavelli understood that the battlefield is not logic, it's perception. The one who holds the frame controls the game. And when you defend yourself, you're not controlling the frame, you're playing on theirs. You're saying without realizing it, you have the authority to judge me. That's not power, that's servitude. The cold strategist knows this. You don't want clarity, you want control. Clarity belongs to therapy, control belongs to power. Let's break it down. There are 3 weapons that make defense obsolete: silence, reframing, and precision cuts. Silence is the default. It's cold, unnerving, and it forces others to fill the void. The longer you hold it, the more they doubt themselves. Reframing is the art of flipping their accusation back into their weakness. Someone calls you arrogant. You say nothing, or you simply reply, "Interesting how confidence makes people uncomfortable." They call you manipulative? Respond with calm detachment. Only those who can't be influenced say that. You didn't defend, you didn't fight. You inverted the attack into proof of their insecurity. And then there are precision cuts, short, sharp lines that end the game in one move. Examples: confidence upsets the insecure. I don't owe you authenticity. Think what you like. Each is a blade disguised as calm words. They don't invite debate. They close it. That's not defense, that's dominance. Now watch what happens to your enemy when you refuse to defend. They escalate. They become louder, more desperate, more emotional, because they expected a fight, and instead, they're shadowboxing with smoke. The crowd watching isn't paying attention to their words anymore. They're watching who's calm and who's rattled. They see your stillness. They see their instability. And without saying a word, you win. This is why silence is not emptiness. It's a weapon. It's why reframing isn't just cleverness, it's control. And it's why defending yourself is the weakest move you can make, because it admits the frame was never yours. Let's start with the social arena. Imagine you're at a dinner table surrounded by friends or colleagues. Someone makes a public jab. "Oh, he always acts like a know-it-all." The room laughs. Everyone looks at you, expecting your defense, expecting you to prove you're not what they just painted you as. This is the moment most men collapse. They nervously laugh. They explain. They soften their image. But the strategist? He doesn't move. He lets the tension breathe. 2 seconds of stillness can feel like an eternity in a room full of eyes. And then if he chooses to speak at all, it's not to defend, it's to redirect. A simple, interesting take, or even nothing at all, just a calm gaze. Suddenly, the joke isn't funny anymore. The accuser starts to look uncomfortable. The laughter dies, and the crowd begins to wonder, did that attack land or did it just expose the attacker? That's the Machiavellian reversal. You let their weapon turn on them without lifting a finger. Now let's move into the business world. In a meeting, someone tries to undermine you. I'm not sure that strategy is really thought through. They want you to defend, to explain, to prove yourself in front of the room. But the strategist never rushes into defense. He leans back. He waits. Silence puts the weight on the other person, and if he chooses to respond, it's not an explanation. It's a challenge. Then let's hear your strategy. In that moment, the tables flip. Now they are under pressure. The room is watching them perform. You've turned the critic into the one being judged. And notice, you didn't defend, you didn't justify. You simply redirected the spotlight, and with it, the frame of power. In relationships, this principle is even more brutal. Say your partner accuses you emotionally. "You don't care about me anymore." The average man panics. He defends, he explains, he floods the air with reassurances. But the strategist knows this reaction validates the emotional frame. Instead, he lets the weight of the words hang for a moment, then responds calmly, "That's not how I see it." No explanations, no pleading, no justifications. Short, detached, grounded. And now? Doubt begins to eat at the accuser, not at you. They wonder if they overreacted. They wonder if they exposed their own insecurity. Because in that silence, you controlled the emotional tempo. And whoever controls the tempo, controls the frame. Now let's step into the digital battlefield, the most brutal arena of all. Online accusations spread faster than truth. Someone calls you toxic, manipulative, fake. What does the average man do? He writes long explanations, emotional clarifications, endless defenses to prove he's innocent. But what does the strategist do? He never defends. He reframes. He posts something that turns the attack into a badge of power. Example: someone says, "You're manipulative." The average man defends. The strategist replies, "People always call you dangerous when they can't control you." Now the attacker looks bitter, insecure, and obsessed, while you look untouchable. That's not defense. That's narrative dominance. In the court of public opinion, silence can look like guilt, unless your silence carries aura, unless it feels deliberate, sharp, calculated. Then silence itself becomes fear. That's why, online, the goal isn't to prove yourself innocent. It's to make them look obsessed while you remain unmoved. You don't need to fight the fire. You let them burn themselves out. Here's where we sharpen the blade to its edge, the Machiavellian philosophy that elevates this from tactic to lifestyle. Power isn't about being right. It isn't about being loved. It's about being untouchable. The man who explains himself is predictable, and the predictable man is easy to manipulate. But the man who embraces misunderstanding, the man who refuses to defend, he becomes a myth. People don't know what he's thinking. They don't know how much he knows. They don't even know if the accusations landed. And that uncertainty makes them cautious. It makes them respect you, fear you, follow you. Not because they understand you, but because they can't. Machiavelli's law is clear. He who explains submits. He who withholds becomes larger than life. And this is the paradox most will never accept. Your reputation doesn't need to be good. It needs to be strong. A good reputation makes you agreeable, easy to approach, Easy to attack. A strong reputation makes people think twice before moving against you. Because even your silence feels dangerous, the strategist doesn't fight for approval. He builds an aura. He defines his presence so sharply that accusations collapse before they even reach him. That is the Machiavellian trick. Never defend yourself. Let others destroy themselves trying to provoke you. Let the crowd defend you while you remain above the noise. And in the end, you don't just win the argument, you erase it from existence. That's how you flip the power instantly. Check the pinned comment. The link I left there is the next step to becoming truly untouchable. Power isn't about how loud you speak. It's about how little you need to. The world is full of men who waste their energy defending themselves, explaining themselves, begging to be understood. But the strategist knows, the less you explain, the more dangerous you become. If you want more lessons like this, sharpen your edge and step deeper into the world of cold strategy, then subscribe now. And tell me in the comments, what's the last time someone tried to put you on defense? And how did you respond? Because remember, here we don't play defense, we play dominance, and the one who never defends is always in control.